What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We got a great product for you today. It's Mrs. Deal. Never miss deal again. My name is Liam.
My name is Ohm.
And my name is Elizabeth. Let's get into it. So Mrs. Deal is going to be an automatic poker card dealing device with a live website that displays the cards that are dealt to each player's hand. The goal of our project overall is for the people playing this hand of poker to be able to do the round and play a hand without a human dealer while maintaining the natural pace of the poker game. And also our goal is for spectators to be able to follow along with what's happening, similar to watching live poker on television. Our target market specifically is amateur poker players and casual poker players, and not casinos or professionals. And our market is pretty broad, but this specifically addresses both the audience and the spectators who are watching the game at home with their friends, and also the players involved in the round.
So let's start talking about the first main component, the rotating platform. Here we have a video of a similar design that we've taken some inspiration from, but we're going to talk about what we're actually going to make and how it's going to be a little different than this as well. So our main idea is to have one central platform on a rotating dais similar to the video itself. Where we're going to differ is that we're going to have two wheels at the top, as you can see on the left design, the two circular parts at the top of the cube itself, that one will push a card forward, where a camera underneath will be able to look up to see what the card actually is. The one in the back will make sure that any other cards are held into place. Slide will go down so that to guide the cards to the platform as well. And on the right, we have a little shelf as well, which will have a platform that will push the cards up towards the wheels.
As I mentioned before, our design includes a live website that is going to display each of the cards that get dealt to the player's hands on the page in real time, so that spectators of the game can view the cards that each individual player has. As you can see on the left, in a professional poker tournament that you would watch on television, their hands are displayed on screen for spectators at home to follow in real time. And so our website and our design would provide this functionality for the spectators in person.
Another critical function of dealing a game of poker is flipping the cards after the cards have been dealt to all the players. So a button press will initiate the dealing of the flop. 3 cards will be dealt one at a time, and a flip arm, which will be hidden under the slide, will deploy and catch the card, and then rotate to flip and then release the card and deal it face up. Subsequent button presses will turn the 4th and 5th card, called the turn and river. In terms of market research, there were not that many products commercially available in the United States that accomplished exactly what we're seeking to accomplish here. One comparable product, the Wheeler Dealer, it just deals a single card at a time, and when a human dealer pushes it into the rotating wheel. This is significant because we do have a mechanism to deal single cards at a time. There are hobby projects such as the video seen above or earlier in this presentation, and also certain international vendors which have poker dealing robots. However, these are not really commercially available in the United States, and we were unable to find any links to buy these that actually worked. Also, none of these dealing robots flip the cards for you, and none of them track the cards as they're dealt.
Because poker is a very social game, there are a lot of unspoken rules that many people wouldn't know unless they're more experienced playing poker. So we wanted to talk to a couple people who have different levels of experience. And so we interviewed Liam's roommate and my cousin to get their initial perspective on a device such as Mrs. Deal. So when speaking to the novice player, their first thoughts were that dealing can be one of the most confusing parts when you're new to the game of poker. And if you're not as experienced, it usually slows down the pace of the game, and other people can get frustrated, you can get frustrated. And so a device like ours would eliminate this problem, because there wouldn't be there wouldn't have to be someone assigned to be the dealer for any of the rounds because it would be automated. And it's also helpful for new players to get to watch other people play poker, but this also often involves maybe a face up round or again, other things that cause the pace of the game to be slowed. And so with our website that displays the live hands of each of the players, people who are just observing the game can actually use this to learn how to play, to learn what the different hands are, and also to just observe more experienced players' strategies of the game of poker. And so this was something of definitely of interest to our novice player. When speaking with the experienced player, they mentioned that many people have superstition involving poker and specifically around dealing. And so doing it in a very specific way is important to eliminate the suspicion of cheating. So some things that we took note of and intentionally wanted to incorporate in our design were dealing from the top of the deck and allowing all the players to be able to see the deck as the cards are being dealt so as to not cause any cheating allegations. And additionally, we wanted to incorporate the concept of burning cards, which involves sending a card to just a discard pile in between hands so that the deck couldn't be fixed or anything. Again, for both, controlling the pace of the game on your own is very important. And even though our device is an automated system, we definitely wanted to be sure to include the button that allows the players to control when the flop is dealt so that the pace can still be as natural as possible while still overall being an automated system.
Learning school. Let's talk about something I learned so far. I've been learning how to do some computer automated design as well as 3D printing in general, which has been very useful specifically for us as it is an extremely mechanically based design. There will be a lot of trying to figure out what direction to go into without having to fully flush out all the details, and 3D printing can help us do that. As you can see on the right, we've tossed out a couple of different ideas of flipping cards over, and the little arm, if you were to flip a card out from that little position, might be able to flip it itself instead of a mechanical flipper, is an idea that we had. And also just like a little medallion thing I made on the left for fun.
So this is basically our current bill of materials and Gantt chart. We can see that currently we're working on, we're about to begin prototyping the card dispenser, the rotating platform, and the camera. In fact, we just got word today that our parts should be in the lockers. So very soon we'll begin experimenting with actual physical parts, where we anticipate most of our challenges to really show themselves.
And finally, I could talk about something that I have some experience with if other people need any help with, which is PWMs on microcontrollers. As you can see, there's a little guitar based on a microbit that we were able to send out pulses when you played the strings, which were touch capacitive sensors. So generally having PWMs can be kind of sketchy as it's hard to get a consistent and clean sound when you're calculating your own waves, and especially, even if you're just recording it and repeating a recorded message. We used 2 separate buffers so that one could fill up while the other's playing, which was very helpful in getting a clean, steady output. The trick there is to be able to fill up the one buffer before the other finishes playing. But other than that, it can be kind of difficult. We also figured out how to strip an aux cord so that we can attach it to the microcontroller itself and hear the sound from the NAMP.
So some questions we have for the class. First off, we wanted to just in general, if any of you are experienced poker players or have familiarity with the game, are there any immediate flaws that you can think of when it comes to the actual process and the culture of playing poker with an automated card dealer? Talking about the pace of play, any immediate red flags, or just general quality of life improvements? Feel free to, leave a comment. Second, our biggest concern is controlling our motors effectively. So as you saw in our bill of materials, we have ordered a couple different motors to just allow us to test as many different options as possible that we will begin shortly. But if any of you have any suggestions on how to maximize our control with minimal complications, please let us know. And do you guys like our name? Do you think it's funny?
Is it funny?
Do you get it? We thought it was clever.
Make sure to like and subscribe.